Alright, so I just want to vent to the camera for a minute or two about the agony that I just endured trying to set up the rear end suspension.
Ignition sequence start. All engine running. 5, 4, 3, 2, no.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm disappointed in BC Coilovers' lack of instruction on how to set up the rear end suspension. So first of all, they send you, I'm not even gonna show my face because it's 2 fucking M and probably don't look like the most attractive person in the world, but that's besides the point. First of all, BC Coilover sends you the spring, right? They send you the height adjustment, and this takes place as the bottom mount for the fucking spring, which I had to figure out by myself. So there's also 2 depictions of the springs for the rear end on these cars online. So I'm gonna set this up right here. These instructions didn't help for shit. Second of all, they've got 3 bushings, which again, there's no instructions explaining which bushings are for what goes where, whether and what gets replaced, what on the car is getting replaced with what. So there's just no fucking instructions anywhere. And all the tutorials on YouTube are trash. So I guess I'm just gonna have to take it upon myself to do a better job of explaining. So I've got this side set up. It literally took me, I think it took me 4 hours to set this side up, which it shouldn't have, because the rear end is supposed to be easier than the front end. There's less to do in the rear. I'm exhausted. I can't stress enough. It seems like such a dumb thing to spend 4 hours on. So I'm gonna do something for YouTube that nobody who's done this tutorial has managed to do, which is show you everything that I've done on this rear end. So here's a light so you can fucking see. There's the bottom. So the spring mount comes with a plate and a screw, which I didn't understand that you had to, that's how you mount the spring mount to the bottom of the lower control arm in the rear. So that goes there. That's the height adjustment / spring mount, which I don't understand how you're supposed to adjust the height without taking the A arm or the control arm down. So there's no bushing there either. It's just 2 plates. It's just that bottom plate that sandwiches the A arm. Let me show you. Keep saying A arm, the lower control arm. So these 2 plates at the bottom right here that I'm playing with my pinky just sandwich the control arm right there. There's no bushings, no plastic between it. Then you got your spring, which just sits on top of this little collar, this little hat right here, that sits right there. Then you got the spring that goes on top, and then there's the bushing that goes between the subframe and the spring, which is this right here. So it goes this at the very top, spring, then this on top of that, like that, and then this bolt comes out. You sandwich this plate at the bottom of the lower control arm, and it just attaches like that. Okay? Fuck. Complaint number 185. They send you these, which I guess maybe these are for the 2013 since they have like a different rear suspension. But again, it should be included in the directions / instructions what these are for, if they replace anything, if you have to use it for a certain year model, Focus ST. Like, this is the shit that we needed to know. Like, I spent fucking hours trying to figure out if I even so like I guess I just don't use those because there's nowhere they can fit, is basically what I'm saying. Please tell me in the comment section if I did something wrong, if I'm tripping, if I'm just tired right now, but this is literally the best I could get it to fit. When the vehicle's in the air, you can't set the shock low enough to reach its mounting point without having the control arm jacked up. God, it's gonna be such a pain in the ass to set this. But anyways, here we go. So to get the strut out, literally the easiest thing in the world. It's just two 13mm nuts at the top there that you have to remove, and then a 15mm that you have to remove from the back there. And then to get the spring out, what I do is I remove this bolt right here that connects the knuckle to the lower control arm. Obviously with a pole jack underneath the lower control arm so that the spring just doesn't go flying out. All right, so I got the new shock in. Like I said, easy, just 2 bolts at the top and 1 bolt that mounts it to the knuckle. Now, this is the part that nobody fucking tells you about. So I just removed my old spring. The rubber, whatever, grommet if you will, out of the bottom. You're not gonna be using that. The rubber grommet out of the top as well. Both of these you're not gonna be using. All right. So this gets removed. Nextly, this. The bottom plate comes off. I'm not adjusting it for now. I'm just gonna see how the ride height looks because I really don't even know how to adjust it right now. And if I can drive this home, I'm driving it home. Plate goes at the bottom. And it just sandwiches there. It's a 19, by the way. So that's installed. Then this little hat sits on top of the height adjuster. Next, you can put the spring on. I don't think it matters whichever way you want to put it on. With the hat. So spring, hat. And then make sure it just sits in its home. Alright. That's how it's gonna look. Let me get some.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, so that's how it's gonna look. And then bolt that bitch back up and call it a fucking night, dude.
Our vehicle going now to an azimuth heading of 72 degrees. All 5 F1 engines fine, looking good. Give it a green light.